Have you heard of the Passive Daily Pay Blueprint? 10 days ago, I purchased this program, and today I'm going to give you an update on how it's going, what I think of the program, and I'm going to talk about the 4 claims that this program makes that I addressed in another video that you can check out here. And I'll put a link to that in the comments as well. So you ready to get started? So to just get started, if you're not familiar with the Passive Daily Pay Blueprint, it is one of the lesser programs within the Legacy Builders program that was created by Michelle O'Neill. And one thing I love about this system, okay, so there's many things I love about this system. The first thing is that the full-blown Legacy Builders program costs $900. And that's a huge investment for so many of us. But one thing that's great is when we purchase this program, we have the master resale rights to it. And what that means is if you have some friends who are in a similar situation from you or as you, and they're interested in creating a supplemental income, a full-time income, this is something they may be willing to explore. And you can sell this program to them. And then if you make one sale, you immediately recoup your own investment. Oh, that's so wonderful, right? So that's one thing that I love about this. We can share this with people who might also benefit from it. The other thing I like, or another thing I like about it, is that you don't have to purchase at the highest level. Because this is a program that it builds. It starts with the launch pad, and then it goes to the Passive Daily Pay Blueprint, and then it goes to, I think, Digital Mastery, and then it goes to the Legacy Builders program. And so you can purchase at whatever level meets your financial needs, will satisfy your curiosity, and if you upgrade within 30 days, what you paid for the lower program will be applied towards the higher program. For example, the Passive Daily Pay Blueprint cost me a $300 investment. And within 30 days, or by August 4th, if I want to upgrade to a higher level, that $300 will be applied to that other level's price. So that's pretty amazing. I love that that was an opportunity for many reasons. And maybe I'll cover those in another video. What the whole program is it's teaching you how to do online digital marketing. It is a done-for-you system. It can take from a few hours to a few days to get this system set up. Because all you have to do is go in and follow the step-by-step video tutorials. And it's encouraged, it's recommended, it's stressed to go slow, take your time, pay attention to the details, because that's what's going to get you in trouble. It got me into trouble, and I'm fairly tech savvy. But I was rushing ahead, thinking I knew something that was not correct for this situation. Getting the back-end tech set up for this automated system is super easy, and it's stupid fast. Basically, within a few days, you can have a business up and operational. And then it's just a matter of moving into creating the content, attracting your perfect audience, and sitting back and letting the magic of the automations work for you. That's the program. Now let's talk about some of those claims. So the biggest claim you'll hear about this, there's 2 really big ones. The first one is that it's a 2-hour workday. And that can sound a little misleading. Yes, I believe that in theory that's possible. The practical reality from my perspective is that it's going to take more than 2 hours a day, especially when you're first starting, okay? It's important to know, sometimes we get these expectations, and when it doesn't happen exactly as we were told, we're disappointed and we throw out the entire thing. I think it falls more into the your results may vary category. Some people who are super organized, super focused, can probably get it done in 2 hours a day. Or once you've built your own system in, based on who you are, how you operate, how your brain functions, we probably can do it within 2 hours a day. But initially, it's going to take a little longer than that. And accepting and embracing that is the way to go. So as for me, in my experience in these first 10 days, I have been spending more than 2 hours a day. It did take me more than a few hours to get the whole back-end system set up. I had my back-end system, all of the automations, the website, connecting a domain name and email to everything. All of that took me 5 days. But one thing I realized is that I was starting to procrastinate towards the end. I wasn't focused on what I was doing. I was skipping around and I was going back into the course and watching more videos, doing more learning. And I have learned, and I think I spotted this pretty early for myself. It is one of my patterns. When I'm not certain of how to do something or I'm uncomfortable doing something, I will go back into learning mode rather than implementing mode. And it's really important that we implement, because it's from the practice, from the experience, that we're going to see changes in ourselves and in what we're creating, our output. So that's a word of caution for you. If you're like me and you tend to put things off, don't slip back into learning mode. Allow yourself to implement first and then go back to learning. But as for the learning itself, the video lessons in this program are amazing. They're fairly short, usually 5 to 10 or 15 minutes. One of my other challenges with this 2-hour workday, in which Michelle talks about this 2 hours is focused income generating time. This is the focus. You're not worried about your branding. You're not worried about making things look pretty. This is income focused, not getting sidetracked by all of the shiny objects. One of my challenges is, as an introvert, I speak slowly. I pause frequently. I have to gather my thoughts. And so to make a 1-minute video, well, typically when I've scripted out my videos, and according to my teleprompter app, it says that it should be around 45 seconds long. By the time I finish it, it is still about 1.5 minutes. And that's fine for TikTok. TikTok allows longer videos. I'm not sure about Instagram or Facebook. I'm not working with those platforms. But I know for YouTube, in order to be a short, it has to be 1 minute or less, or maybe less than 1 minute. That 1 second could make a difference. I'm not sure. So I am having to edit my videos, and I'm okay with that. I love that. I could lose hours of time editing videos, but that's just me. But that is one thing that will keep me from meeting that 2-hour-a-day requirement. But I'm not working this summer. I don't work full-time, and so therefore I have that time. This is more of a hobby for me, and so I don't need to stick to that 2-hour time limit for these income-focused activities. So another big claim of this program is that you can make daily pay. And what that means is that anytime someone signs up for your email list, this is all part of the automated system that is done for you with some few tweaks being required. When someone signs up for your automated email, they have access to your sales page and all of the information about this program. There are links to some videos that Michelle O'Neill, the founder of the program, has created to talk about and explain the system. So we're there to just answer questions, to encourage people and support them as they're making this decision. We can share our stories. Why did we hesitate? Why did we decide to purchase it? So daily pay is what happens when you decide to purchase. That money comes directly to me. It doesn't have to go through someone else. It's not like typical affiliate marketing where every 30 days, every 60 days, once you've met a minimum threshold where they'll pay you. There's no delay. And that's why she calls it daily pay. It's pretty cool. And I'm excited to see it happen for me. I don't have any leads yet. I'm still early in my journey. I am trying not to fret and compare myself with other people. There are people in the community that have been part of the community. They purchased this program a couple of months ago. They still don't have any sales. And it's a matter of tweaking. Oh, and the community is great. Now, as an introvert, I'm not a real joiner. I didn't purchase this program for the community. But I will say in the past few days, I've had this realization that as much as I love doing things by myself, sometimes you need the universe to help you. When we're manifesting, we put our wishes, our dreams, our desires out into the universe, and the universe says yes. The only time the universe is going to tell us no is when there's a plan in place for something better to happen for us, something that perhaps we wish, but it's so deep in the quiet depths of our hearts that we haven't articulated it yet. But the universe knows all, and it knows those secret, deepest desires, and the universe is creating a path for that. For us to see those shining rocks, or like Hansel and Gretel, the breadcrumbs, for us to start to recognize them. It really is important for us to make this commitment to the process within this program, to follow it to the best of our ability, and then if things are not working, to go back and see where we may have strayed off, because we all have resistance. There are things we don't want to do. And if we go back and we say, oh, this is where I tried to cut corners. I thought my way would work. And if your way didn't work, go back to the beginning and start again. I am still super excited about this program, about this blueprint. Even though I don't have any leads yet, I haven't made any sales yet, but I know it's just waiting to happen. I'm almost there. I'm so close. In fact, you may be the first one. Another claim is that you don't need to sell to friends and family. And this was one of my sticking points. When I first signed up for this program, it's like, I am not telling any of my friends about this until I have seen results myself. And as I was preparing for this video, it occurred to me, am I doing my friends a disservice? You see, in this video, I talked about the bell curve of opportunity. And the early adopters who come in here when things are just starting and they do really well. And then as you go up the bell curve, more and more people are hearing about it. More and more people are either deciding they're excited and they want in, or they're skeptical and they say no, and they tell people who are considering it, you're crazy. And then those people hesitate and they probably fail to take the opportunity, which is kind of how I am. I'm still somewhat hesitant to share this with other people, friends, because I don't want to put them at financial risk. And at the same time, am I doing them a disservice? I think in the community, when I purchased it, there were 22 or 24,000 people in this community. Now there's already 29,600 and something. So just in 10 days, we've increased the bell curve. If it's not at the top and being oversaturated, it's maybe getting close. We may still be down at the bottom of the curve. I don't know. But am I doing my friends a disservice because their journey will be different from mine? Their resistances will be different from mine. And the reason I haven't shared it yet is because they are all lacking the income. They tell me that, they focus on that, and I believe them because it's all a mindset thing, right? If you believe you have no money, you have no money. If you believe the universe will provide, the universe provides. So my commitment to you and to me and to my friends is to start letting them know about this program, and they can make the decision on their own. And that's what we need to do. That's being responsible to other people, not for other people. All right, different tangent. My intention, however, when I set that standard for myself was to protect them. And it was to make sure that this is a proven system for me. And even if I spend a year and I don't have any sales, that still doesn't make this less than a proven system. Because if it's working for other people, the only reason it wouldn't work for me is me. And so to not give them that opportunity to make a decision on their own, then that falls on me. That would be my responsibility. Again, I commit to letting there are 4 or 5 people who I think would benefit from this. Okay, so that's an update on those 4 major claims that are made when you research into this program. The 4 things you'll hear over and over and over again. It's the 2-hour workday, it's the making the daily pay, it's not having to sell to your friends and your family, and it's a simple, no worry tech setup. Next, I'll share where I am in the program. As I said, I'm 10 days in. And right now, so all of my automations are set up, the business backend is set up. Where I am is actually promoting this business opportunity. And here's the thing, this is where I've always gotten stuck in the past because I've created online courses, but I've never been able to sell them to anyone. And the key thing about that I've learned in this program, which I did know it, but I hadn't really embraced it and just taken it into my heart, is that I haven't been consistent. I haven't been consistent with posting on social media before, haven't been consistent with my message, haven't been consistent with who I feel like my ideal client is. Frequently we hear your ideal client is an earlier version of yourself. Well, which version of myself? From about the time I was 20 years old, every few years I'm going through this major transformation and I look back and I don't recognize who I was. At which point do I stop and say, oh, this is the ideal me? I'm not sure. In just a minute, I'm going to tell you what I realized this morning as I was preparing these notes for this video. Once you've identified your ideal customer, this is when you start working on your brand story. The one or two stories that will speak to those people, that will make that heart-to-heart connection where they'll watch and they'll say, oh my gosh, you're talking to me. That's my story too. This is challenging for me because one of the things I always tell people is I have a story for that. Because I've had so many life experiences. Which story do I pick from? Again, keying in on who your ideal client is, it'll help you narrow down and focus in on your brand story. That story that will connect with other people. And as I'm working through all of that, I have been putting content out on TikTok and on my YouTube channel in the form of shorts. Now I'm following the Launch to Profit in 7 Days blueprint. This is another step-by-step process. For 7 days, each day, Michelle has laid out what type of video or written post we're sharing on social media, the topic of it, and we just have to apply it to our own story, to our own ideal customer. And we tailor it. And that's why this is not just a cookie cutter system. We are injecting ourselves into this. And this is where the magic happens, the connection with other people. This is a learning process. We won't be perfect when we start. In fact, the videos I've already created, I've been all over the place with my ideal customer. I don't have that nailed in yet. And again, as I was preparing the notes for this video, I realized what I need to do is do 7 days, focus on one story, one ideal customer. Because people need to hear things over and over and over again, right? And if they see me on a TikTok video talking about one thing today and then tomorrow another thing, for instance, introverts, starting your own business, nomads, earning passive income, it's a little confusing. There's no consistency there. And so what I realized was for 7 days, follow one message, one ideal customer, and see what happens. And then at the end of 7 days, I'll reevaluate. I'll try something else. Now this is where I have some resistance, and you may too. So let me know if this is something that you would resist. Switching things up, even though it's to help me gain clarity in the long run and may potentially confuse my audience in the short term, I just feel like that's an indication that I don't know what I'm doing, that people will judge me for being all over the place. They'll judge me for being inconsistent with my message. And the reality is some might leave nasty comments saying, well, yesterday you were talking about introverts, today you're talking about nomads, tomorrow you're talking about snowmen. It's gonna happen. This is a learning process. And if we resist being that student, that very early stage beginner, there's no need to invest in programs like this because we're not willing, as Michelle calls it, we're not coachable. Because we're not willing to try something new, to stretch ourselves, to expand ourselves outside of our comfort zone. And that's where the magic happens. It's outside of our comfort zone, not tucked right here inside it. And the thing I'm telling myself today, and we'll have to probably repeat it over and over and over and over again, no one cares and no one will remember. In the short term, they might notice some inconsistencies. I'm such a small player in the social media world. Who's going to remember? Who's going to care? I would love for them to care, but that just puts more pressure on me. So when I remember, no one cares. Doesn't matter to anyone else but me. And what matters to me is learning and growing and experiencing something new and something magical. I am loving this new hobby of mine. I am loving that I'm learning new things, that I'm exploring, and I even love slipping into that community of 29,000 members and seeing how they're doing and answering some of their tech questions, giving them support. Yesterday, a gentleman had been in the program for 2 months and I just feel like giving up. And there were comments, I typed one too, don't give up. I said, go back to the beginning because this is where I am. I said, go back to the beginning, go back and redo the Launch to Profit in 7 days. Work through it. Look at what you produced and ask yourself how it could be better. Be willing to grow. Be willing to try what other people are suggesting. And that's been a unique experience for me, and it's been really amazing. I do have a goal for the coming week, and perhaps you can help me achieve this goal. My goal for this week is to have one person, just one person, who is not a friend, sign up to learn more about the Passive Daily Pay Blueprint. You would help me achieve my goal, and you would learn about this opportunity that may be life-changing for you. Put yes in the comments, and I will give you that information so you can learn more about how you can grow, be amazing, expand your comfort zone, and perhaps bring in some extra money, some daily pay money while you're doing it.